Already have jokers.
Okay, so we are going on live stream, sir.
Great. Good morning, everybody. I would like to call this meeting to order. It is 10:07. This is the Regent Nominating Council regular meeting, Thursday, April 13th. As I said,
Can you just check? It should.
sorry. Louder, you okay?
We're good, Gene, thank you.
Okay.
Could I just make you back to host? You want to be host, Dave?
Yes, please, sorry.
Okay, yes, we'll continue. All right, obviously, our chairperson, Leslie Ungerl, was not able to make it, and as the vice chair, I will then lead this meeting this morning. So the first business is the meeting minutes, which is an action item. The meeting minutes are attached to the agenda. If you don't mind, to take a little bit of a look at them. And if there's any additions or corrections, let me know. But take a few minutes to take a look at them, and then we will call for it. Anybody need a little bit more time? Okay, great. So can I call someone from the make a motion to accept the minutes of the January 12th, 2023.
I move that we accept the minutes of January 2023.
Is there a second to? So we can make motion on the floor the minutes. And now vote on accepting the minutes now. Everyone has had a chance to look at on Thursday, January 12th, 2020. All in favor of accepting these minutes, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Any exceptions? So I assume that we will now pass. Great. Okay, we will now move to old business, recruitment efforts, status of applications, 3.1. So we will, I don't know if you heard from Leslie, excuse me, from Leslie, whether or not she provided any updates on her individual. Okay. So at this point in time, we don't know the status of the individuals that Leslie was speaking with. So we'll move on.
I can take over the other stuff, if you don't mind, sir.
Sure.
Okay, so on behalf of the chair, just so that you know, because we have some new members, so we'll bring them up to speed if they're okay with us taking a little bit about what we are looking for as well in terms of between now and then. So right now we do have one completed packet of May 9th, which was completed since 2021. So subject to the committee or the council approving a top 3 for the next meeting, that packet still stands. We received Joanna Chung, who is also now a completed packet, thanks to Monica Beaver, that is 2. So we have 2 completed packet.
I'm sorry.
One day.
Did you say the name?
Yeah, Joanna Chun, Joanna Chun, CHUN.
And the first one.
The first one was Nate Unite.
Oh, okay.
And I can give you the spelling of the name. Okay, and so one that is pending is Julian Cooper Nurse. We have the packet, but we still need the 3 recommendation letters. He has been notified both by Dr. Santos and by Chris Mabayan. So it's just a matter of getting those 3. If he gets those in time, then we will have at least 3 packets that are completed. Packets that are pending that we have nothing on are from Monaco Pito Loyasa Malik, which is still pending. John Onodera, which is still pending.
I'm sorry, she told that last
Oh,
week,
she
she
did?
reported that John Alexander
Okay,
is
John.
no longer.
Okay, I just need to update this roster then.
Yeah.
And from Leslie Young Guerrero, Marie Monge, or was that deleted?
But I have to go back.
Okay, otherwise we'll follow with Leslie Young Guerrero on that. But right now, as we speak, 2 completed packet, 1 pending with 3 recommendations, and no one else's packet or recommendation received today. So we have names that you've been following up on. We really need to do what we call a full court press, because come your meeting in July, we need to look at least for 3 completed packets for you to approve to be presented to the governor, and then your anonymous voting in public to rank order them to recommend to the governor who the winner candidate is with the reasons behind it. Okay, but it's still up to the governor to select from the 3. We just make a recommendation of what it is. Now, by way of folks that are new, what we have discussed in the past, again, on behalf of the chair, is the Regent Nominating Council is responsible for looking at potential candidates of what the university will need between now and the next 3 to 5 years. Okay, and in looking at who we currently have on slate, just so that you know for record, the next person that's being replaced is Chairperson Provito, who is by nature an architect, and so she's in the construction world. So that was her strength. We have Regent McKeever, who is in the financial area. We have Regent Leon Guerrero, who is in the marketing and financial area. We have Regent Diaz, who is in the architectural engineering arena. We have Regent Certeza, who is in the financial arena and the private sector. We have Regent Naholova, who is in the marketing and financial sector. We have Regent Malile, who is a community representative, although she's a dentist. She brings in the private sector perspective as well. We have Regent Valencia, who is marketing and CEO of a private organization, who brings that expertise. And then we have student Regent Laksamana to bring the student perspective to the table. Okay, so looking at university 3 to 5 years from now, as some of you know, if not all of you, we have 4 major construction facilities coming up. We have a budget analysis that we need to continue to look at. We have some financial management on federal funds that we need to see how we can maximize those type of things to help us do not only construction, but academic support and of course our community service and research outreach and academics. And so given that and the future of where we may be headed with our power hula, which is our current strategic plan, we need to find replacement candidates who can continue to contribute in those areas of major effort and initiative. But it doesn't have to be. Okay, as you know, 2 of our candidates are not in the construction field, the ones that our packets are complete, and you'll get to know their packet next time. You'll see the details of their strengths and weaknesses. But that's what we're looking forward to. Do they have to foot any of the bills of strengths? No. Because sometimes just being like in the private sector who can bring critical thinking and just a different perspective on things also helps. Okay? And just so that you know, by way of public law, one of our regent needs to at least be an alumni or alumna. Right now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 alumni. Okay, an alumni. So we're okay with that. What we are weak on is the Chamorro ethnicity, which we are less than 50% on, which is desired but not required. But if we can get 50% or more Chamorros on our board, it opens up federal grant opportunities that right now we don't qualify because the bulk of our members are not local, for local Chamorro. And that's one of the criteria, and as well as a balance of males and females. Right now we have 6 females and 3 males. Okay, so the balance is okay, and so we should be doing fine. So that's the general synopsis of the Q.
Are there any questions that you would like to ask David at this point in time? I think what Mr. Cotto went over, I think will be very critical when we evaluate the completed packets next time we meet in July. And those criteria will help us as a committee decide, the strength and weaknesses. And as he said, maybe these 3 or 4 people that we get might not fit everything we're looking for, but I think Will pointed out from David, you might have a couple of people on there who will offer a different perspective, but sometimes it's good, even though we're kind of looking, as David said, for construction projects. People that have financial background are always important in the university, or even, people who understand higher education. Anything else that you'd like to bring up at this point in time?
No, sir, not for that.
So when we receive the complete packets in July, what's the timeline from that allows us to review the packets and then voting?
Okay, I can answer that, please. Okay, if you look at your agenda, right now your meetings are projected all the way to October 5th. So one of the items when we get to 5.0 is to start projecting out based on that little requirement in parentheses about first month, each quarter specified week. It's usually the first in that template so that we can make sure we have a quorum for the rest of that fiscal year. So beyond October 5th, we'll look at some dates, maybe not today, but next time.
Okay.
To see how it will fit a quorum level. The challenging part would be for faculty and students because it all depends on your schedule, right? Like this semester, Dr. Santos is having a hard time because she has a 10 o'clock class on Thursdays. Okay, so it also affects the days of the meeting that you all need to just agree upon that might be best for everybody. Okay, so that's forthcoming. Now, in terms of reviewing a packet, what happens in our meeting that is the center of gravity for everything is to make sure we reach out to potential candidates that can fit the profile, okay? Get the packets completed, and then like in the case of Regent or Chairperson Provido, her term ends on September 28, 2023. So in backward planning a candidate's departure, we give yourself.
So that we're just talking about is listed on that second page of the handout, by the way, but all the numbers in one.
Okay, we take away 2 months from that. So given September minus 2 months is when the council should have a decision and a written packet approved, ready to be submitted to the governor. Okay, because the governor will take at least 30 days to review it, get in contact with the candidates and have her own assessment. And then she takes that packet and then she puts it in writing and submits it to the legislature for confirmation hearing. Okay, and so the confirmation hearing gets scheduled within that month or 2 because they have to plan at least a month out. Okay, so that's already encroaching into the September timeframe. And then once they do the public hearing, then they have to get it into a session for voting. So they need at least 2 to 3 months. Okay. And so for our planning purposes, the reason why you have it in July, because it allows them August, September, and maybe October or November to make a decision. And a candidate's not approved until after the legislature has confirmed them. That's what really starts to occur. Okay. Question. Okay, now a candidate, let's take Regent Provido, for example. She expires on September 28th. By public law, she is allowed to extend without just automatic extension up to 3 months after the expiration date if no replacement has been identified. And if that expires, then up to 3 legislative sessions to be able to be further extended. So we're looking at least 6 months worth of extensions that could be added. But it all depends on the legislature's ability to designate a legislative session. Okay, because it could occur all in 1 month or it could occur over a 3-month period. Okay, so that one is a dynamic situation. But the surety is at least assured of a standard 3-month extension. I have no problem. So even if we're past September 28, I guess to answer the question, there's no major.
There's a lot of wiggle room.
Yeah, we can meet right now.
Okay.
Long explanation.
Okay.
Very deep.
Mayor,
Welcome.
no problem. We are, basically dealing with still 3.1 recruitment efforts. Mr. O'Connor explained to the members what we're looking for in terms and stuff. So, since Leslie's not here, I don't have a status, on her report. I'll ask Monica. Monica, would you like to, talk about, anybody on your?
I'm not.
Oh, no, I guess she's just right. So we'll skip her.
Yes,
Sorry.
okay. So with regards to R. Michael Moore, unfortunately, he's decided not to accept the nomination to
So he
be considered, so, yes. But with regards to Colonel David Cruz, he's still very much interested. Yes.
And you heard then, of course, that we're gonna, these packets need to be in by.
Before July,
Yes.
for it to be considered by council.
I will get you them.
My colleague, Dr. Santos, obviously she's not here, I'm not sure, but you did say that his packet, she gave an update. She said, we're waiting for those letters, correct? That's not bad. Myself, I did speak the last couple of days with Robert. He will have everything submitted by the end of this week. So that should be coming in shortly. And Mayor, would you like to talk about your nominee?
Yeah, the one that I was working on is QD, Cynthia Acuvie.
Yes.
And so she still has indicated that she's not interested at this point in time. In fact, she's downsizing her law practice and moving and going to be joining, working out of another law firm office as not as a principal, but just as an associate. And so until that settles, that just settles, she's still not interested in.
We'll take her off. Yes.
Anybody around the table would like to, start mention some names, or have anybody that you're thinking about acting as this process still continues, even though we're looking obviously to fill what we need to fill. I mean, if this package in by July, you can still in your own mind think about, especially as David said, looking, we're shy of somebody who has
CPA.
yeah, and but you also said it would be CPA and a Chihuahua would be really nice, yeah. Okay, if not, we will definitely move on to 3.2, and that's the RNC member status. And if you take a look at the second page of the handout, term ending before July 15th. David, do we have anybody that's leaving by that?
Yes, with your permission, I can go down the ballot order again. Okay, starting with Mayor Goldie, last time your intention was to at least extend to February 2024. Is that still?
Yes.
Good. Okay, so we're just waiting the letter from the mayor's council to confirm that.
So that's what I need on that one.
Yeah. Not yet. And then going down, Leslie Leon Guerrero, April board meeting, which is this month, the intent is to reconfirm her as a RNC member, so we're waiting on that one. We have Dr. Leading. We kind of missed the last admin council to put it on the agenda to further extend you at least until November. Yeah. Okay, so it's still pending, but you're still here, so that's okay. Dr. Michelle Santos, there's going to be a rotation in May of 2023. So we can anticipate a shift there. And we won't know that until.
But they're not effective till the next second.
So that's correct. So it'll be for the September or the July. July meeting.
Unless it's a 12-month faculty that's
Yeah.
appointed, but
And if they're not a 12-month faculty, then they won't be available
until August.
September would be the next week.
Oh, okay, so the next, yeah,
But well, it's October. Based on our.
or the next one.
Okay, so that name is pending. There's no indicator that she is planning on renewing.
I thought she said she was not last time. Yeah, she's gonna step.
So we anticipate a new name. We would like to welcome since January, Mr. Austin Fortuno for the SGA representative. Okay. There is going to be an election in May this year, so we will see whether there will be a turnover here or not. Okay. More to follow. We would like to welcome Natasha Suba, who is the UOG Alumni Association rep. But if you don't mind introducing your current status, your president-elect.
Yes, I'm the president, president-elect, and then I teach here at UOG as well.
And what do you teach here?
Critical.
Critical thinking, yeah, very important part.
What's her new expiration?
I'm sorry.
Her expiration date.
Well, she starts for Natasha.
Yes.
It'll be as of yesterday, and so her expiration will be next year, April 2024. Subject to your willingness to renew and the Alumni Association's concurrence with that.
Thanks.
And we do have your welcome packet
Oh.
ready for you. Ms. Orana El Sagini, our current secretary. There was supposed to be an election in March.
Supposed to happen next week,
Okay, because
delayed till next week.
it delayed, right? So what we don't know is whether you might rotate out or not. The last
Oh,
one was
I'm
you
definitely
might
not
rotate.
on the ballot for reelection, so it's gonna change out. But if for some reason whoever is elected does not get appointed till, is it all right that the council can continue meeting? Ask for me to continue throughout, at least for the summer, the next meeting.
Sure.
Okay, that's just.
Okay.
Okay, and all we need is just a little memo saying chair replacements. And our youth congress is not expiring yet until January 24, but I'd like to introduce to you Christian Ramos. Okay, who's also in the Student Government Association, but he is the Guam Youth Congress rep as well. And community at large, we have 3 positions on a 2-year term. Just to confirm, Ms. Anna Pangilinan has graciously been elected and selected for an
Can
extension.
I just make a note
Yes.
here? My Pangilinan name is misspelled. It should be Lee rather than I.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, and Ms. Monica Pito was also extended on a 2-year to March of 2025, so no problem. And then Ms. Tony Blas, right here, okay, her term will expire in October of 2024. So Ms. Tony Blas, depending on your preference of extension between now and then, there's nothing to preclude the body of the whole here to extend you for another 2 years if that was your.
Fine.
And it's not on the agenda for vote, but if we want to shift to that, there can be a motion and a second and then a vote. We'll just-
Let me do it now. We do it
we
now.
can do that now. Yes.
So will there be a motion to extend Tony Bloss? So we're saying basically October of 2026, David?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
I move to extend October 2026.
2 years.
26 or 25,
5.
24, it's a 2-year term, 26.
we just renewed.
It expires in October 2024.
Well, that's the new. We just renewed.
Sorry, let me scratch that. Okay, I'm thinking this year, October.
No.
My bad. She has more than a year, then we don't need to. Be There's still. I stand corrected.
Well, we just.
No, she's,
Okay.
her extension currently is until October 2024.
You read 23.
I'm mixing, yeah, I said 24, but I was thinking 23, I apologize. She's good.
We accept your apology.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And so subjects to anybody's question, Mr. Chair, that concludes the
Great. We appreciate it very much. Okay, we have no new business unless somebody would like to have anything from the floor of new business, anything that you would like to bring up at this point in time. If not, we will then move on to next meeting dates and say the date, and I will ask David one more time to go over this.
Okay, so again, what we normally do on the dates, so July 13th is going to be a critical meeting, so you can state the date now as well as October. That is a turning point to make sure we have an approved package for the government. Okay, but it's dependent upon at least 3 packages being available.
And we only have one.
So we have
So now we have people, sorry, I'm gonna move that. So we have Nate tonight and Joanne. So meet you and.
We didn't hear her name on the potentials. What's her back?
Huh?
I didn't, I don't recall her name on the list of potentials in the last.
Yeah,
few
I missed the
meetings.
last
What is-
meeting, so I'm not sure.
Well, maybe she's just interested on her own, but
Okay,
what's her?
we have a packet. It was the person that reached out was Monica Pito.
Oh,
Okay, and so that's why it's important to have you attend next meeting because you'll have a chance to see that.
Okay.
packet. Okay, it's if you want to take a look at it, we do have the packets here now, if you'd like to take a look at it. But you won't be doing anything with it until July.
Yeah, no problem, but I mean, basically, her background.
Her background is basically private sector, business management. She does have some financial processing of kind of like a planner. Where she gets together and develops systems for that. But we do have her package here, you can take a look.
Have there ever been a time where, as a committee, we're not happy with any of the 3 and we extend that? Just, you know, so I haven't been here long.
Not since I've been here. There has always been consensus on an agreement among the council members.
And I would imagine that's the case because most of the packets are sponsored by an RNC member.
Yes.
And so
It's a
there's,
self, nothing to get right.
yeah, but we haven't had one of those
We've been on this
Yeah.
for a while.
Well, no,
And just so that everybody knows, when we updated, you guys updated the bylaws, it did include the ability for the council to also announce via advertisement in the newspaper, which at this point, we did not be.
Yeah.
Okay, because there's enough candidates in the pool right now to pursue
You're right.
and go for it. Okay, but just for transparency, we did get because we do these announcements by open government law. We did get an inquiry from K57 asking about our RNC process.
So from this.
And that's probably why
you're.
it's So know that there is interest in this process. That's FYI.
Before you arrived, we had a reporter here and just. Okay, if there is no other new business or next meeting dates, I'd like to call for adjournment unless there's anybody that likes to.
I move that we end the meeting.
Okay. Second. All right, so this meeting will officially adjourn at 10:35. This is probably short, but I promise you in July. it will not be so. Expect to be here.
thank you, apologize for being late.
Dean, if you're okay, you can stop YouTube. Otherwise, I will end the meeting call.